Yeah, go. Bitch, I bring you back. Stop playing with bitch, I bring you back. Yo, back. Bitch, I bring you back. Stop playing with bitch, I bring you back. Yeah, go. Bitch, I bring you back. Stop playing with bitch, I bring you back. Yeah, go.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are back at it again with another story time. I'm throwing out all my story times as much as I can because I have so many freaking stories. My life is a joke, y'all. My life is a joke. So, if you want to know about the time I was a side chick, keep watching. Okay, so this was my freshman year of college. I was freshman, first getting into the school. Um, so I feel like it was the first day or so, me and all my girls, we went to the dining hall. So at the dining hall, I peeped a guy. He was sitting with a table full of athletes. He was sitting with, um, the athletes. They sit together. Different athletes for different sports sit together. He was sitting with the football players. And I peeped him and I was like, oh, wow, he's cute. And I didn't say nothing. Obviously, he ain't saying nothing to me. I don't even think he saw me probably, but that was that. So I didn't see him again. This was like 3 weeks later. This is 3 weeks into the semester starting, mind you. This man did not show up to class for 2 weeks. He had the same class as me, and I'd never seen him in my class until 2 weeks later. So I should have, that should have been a turn off. It should have been. It should have been, because what was you doing for 2 weeks that you can't show up to class? Oh my God, I got one earring in, one earring out. It should have been a turn off. Just know that. So he finally comes into my class, but he comes in late. So there was already somebody sitting next to me. So I seen him come in late and I was like, oh, he's in my class? Like, this guy has not shown up for dumb long. But I peeped in, I kept it pushing. I wish I had some chapstick. But I kept it pushing. The next class comes, right? So I got to class and I'm sitting down, going over my notes before class. And he comes and he sits next to me. And he was like, yo, what's up? And I was like, oh, hey, what's up? And he was like, what's your name? And I was like, oh, my name is Mati. But obviously I didn't say that name. I said my actual name. And he was like, oh, wow, you exotic. And I was like, when I think of exotic, I don't think of foreign. I think of like exotic dancers, like stuff like that. So I'm like, thank you. And he was like, my name is, what am I calling him? My name is, Broom. Nah. Let's go with Broom. No, let's go with Croc, because he stayed wearing Crocs. That's so much better for me. So then he's talking to me. He was like, what was he talking about? He said something. He was talking and he was like, I was like, oh, so you're on the football team? And he was like, yeah. He was like, how you know? I was like, your backpack. I was like, I have a couple friends on the football team. And he was like, oh, who's your friend? So I named my friends, like, and he was like, oh, the freshman? And I was like, yeah, I'm a freshman. Like, obviously my friends are going to be freshmen. And he was like, oh, you're a freshman? He's like, well, if you need someone to show you around the campus or something, like, he was like, actually, just give me a snack. Give me a snack. And I was like, okay, yeah. He was like, yeah, and also if we need to, for the class or something, if we need notes or something, you can just hit me up. I can hit you up. I'm like, oh, all right, that sounds good. So I gave him my snack. And, after class, I started walking out, and he was like, oh, let me walk you to your room. I was like, nah. I'm not going to my room. I'm about to go to Hope. And Hope is a dining hall at my school. And he was like, oh, if you about to go to Hope, I'll come with you. Can you swipe me in? Because he didn't have a meal plan, so he wanted me to use my guest swipes on him. I was like, I can swipe you in, but you're not sitting with me. I was like, I can swipe you in, no problem, but you're not sitting with me. Like, you're going to sit with your friends, I'm going to sit with my friend. He was like, it's like that. I was like, yeah, because I'm not gonna go and sit with you and then people think that it's something that it's not. Like, I'm like, first of all, no. And he was like, all right, then don't even worry about it. I'm gonna catch you later. I was like, all right, bet. So I went to Hope, you know, the day goes by. At like 10 p.m., he hits me up. He was like, yo, where you at? I was like, my room. He was like, where your room at? And I said the name of my dorm. And he was like, I'm in that area. Why don't I just swing by? I was like, no. He was like, I was thinking about you too. Like, I was in the area and I was thinking about you. And I was like, thinking about what? And he was like, I thought you was mad cute. And that's what I was like, I'm not looking for a relationship. It was my freshman year, first semester. Like, I didn't even get to experience the niggas there yet. Like, I was like, oh, I was like, thank you. He was like, you was thinking about me too, huh? I was like, hell no, nigga. Fuck you talking about? I was like, nah, I wasn't. He was like, oh, all right. I was like, yeah, humble yourself. Because, huh? Think about who? Not you. So then I stopped hitting him up. Like, I stopped replying to him. And then the next day in class, he comes to class. This is the most frequent I ever seen this nigga come to class, is when I started talking to him. So the next day in class, he comes and he sits next to me. And he's like, oh, so you wanted to leave me on scene repeatedly. And I was like, you wasn't talking about nothing that I feel like I could respond to. You was talking about me, and I feel like you already had your perception of me. Like, what am I going to say to that? Like, you're cute. Thank you. Like, it's something, like, stuff like that is like, if you was to ask me about an assignment, I would have responded. If you would have asked me about, like, something like that I could respond to and, like, engage in, you was doing a one-sided, like, talking to yourself type thing. And he was like, oh, I feel you, I feel you. He was like, so what you doing after this class? And I was like, I don't know yet. I was like, I don't know if my girls want to go to Hope, if we're going to go to Butt, or if we're just going to chill. And he was like, just come to my room. I was like, hell motherfucking no. I was like, my mom told me about people like you. I was like, no. He was like, I feel you, I feel you. He was like, if I was a freshman, I wouldn't either. I was like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? He was like, you know, freshmen, they're new. They think everybody's trying to kill them. I was like, that's not what I thought. Like, and then this guy, the whole class, that class period, he was talking to me. And I was like, it was to the point that I had to look at him and be like, yo, chill, the teacher's talking. Like, let him finish first. We'll talk after. And he was like, oh, yeah, my fault. I forgot. Like, how you forget you in class, guy? Come on, yo. So the class goes by. I'm walking out of class. And he was like, you're not going to wait for me? I was like, you're packing your stuff mad slow. Like, come on. So I waited for him. He started walking. He was like, yo, you remind me of somebody. I was like, remind you of what? He was like, I don't know. You remind me of somebody. He was like, when I put my finger on it, I'm gonna hit you up. He was like, and I was like, all right. So he was like, so where you going? I was like, I'm telling you right now, I don't know. I was like, I think I'm gonna go to my girl's room. And he was like, all right. He was like, well, whenever you want to hit me up, just hit me up. And I was like, okay, I will. I wasn't planning on hitting her up because, like, for what? Like, what am I going to hit you up for? Like, I've been in class. You haven't been in class. If anything, you need to be hitting me up, like, for assignments. And so, day goes by. He hits me up at night again, which should have been a red flag. And he was like, why? He was like, something. What did he say? I don't know what he said when he hit me up, but he said something, and then he asked me why you keep saving the messages. But if you're a girl, you know, like, on Snapchat, it's like an instinct. Like, you press it again, like, and then it saves, like. And plus, I'm very forgetful. I'm gonna forget what you said to me and, like, not respond. So I was like, so why can't I save the messages? Like, what's going on? Like, it's not like we're saying nothing. He was like, I just don't feel like it's necessary to save the messages. Again, another red flag. I should have peeped. I didn't peep. Nobody told me. Like, I was like, okay. So I started deleting the messages. He was like, thank you. I was like, you're welcome. I didn't know, yo. I didn't know. I should have kept them, but I didn't know. So time goes by. We're still talking. We're talking. And he was like, so you finally gonna let me come to your room, or you finally gonna come to mine? I was like, you can come to my room, but like nothing's gonna happen. We would just be sitting there chilling. He was like, that's a vibe. Like, it's cool. So we was sitting there, like we was watching a movie. And he was like, oh, he was like, I for real think you're mad cute. Like, he was like, so why you keep playing? I was like, we really gotta have this conversation, bro. And this is like my first conversation with a guy in private. It's a long story short, we end up like not doing it, but we end up like starting to talk. Like now it's talking. All right, so now like my friends know that I talk to somebody on the team, but they don't know who it is. To this day, they don't know who it is, because I'm just not that type of a female. Like, I keep all my business to myself. I keep who I'm messing with to myself. I don't like when people know my business or know who I'm messing with, or like, because then I don't know. I just don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable when people be knowing my stuff. Like, because then people will look at you, look at them, look at, like, and be like, start analyzing your relationship. Like, oh, he just walked by her. Like, what you think that mean? Like, no. I don't want, no. So then we start talking. Then he asked me like, oh, like, can we get together? And like, he took me on a date. Then he was like, oh, can we get together? And I was like, yeah, like, I mean, we've been talking for that long. I was waiting for you to ask. So now we together, we doing couple stuff. At least I'm thinking that we're doing couple stuff. I'm thinking that, oh, we're together, and I'm thinking that he's just as secretive as I am. That, because I just said I'm secretive. So I'm thinking he's just as secretive as I am. Meanwhile, he has a shorty. So my girl hit me up and was like, Mati, like, I peeped that your man, because she's the only person who knew who my man was. And she was like, Mati, I peeped that your man, like, his name is in another girl's bio. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I don't do that bio shit. Like, why are you putting your name, somebody else's name in your bio? Like they're the fruit of your labor. Like, come on. Like, I don't do all that. And she was like, "Lo, look." And she sent it to me. And it was like a girl completely, but I say completely opposite of me. And this nigga had two different flavors completely. This girl was white. She was like on a sorority. She was like completely opposite of me. And I was like, why is, so I sent it to him. I was like, why is this girl name me your bio? He was like, that ain't nothing. Like, he was like, it was like a dare. And she already told me. I should have told you. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, when she's gonna take it down though? I was like, it kind of makes me look silly. And he was like, yeah, I feel you. She was like, I'll tell her to take it down. She never took it down, so I was like, okay. Fast forward, she hits me up. She ends up hitting me up on Instagram, and she was like, hey, like, bro, when she hit me up and said, hey, I was like, no, I'm coming to you as a woman. Stop it. She started off, she said, I'm coming to you as a woman, like, woman to woman. I just wanted to know if you fucking with, wait, what's that called him? You fucking with Crocs, because I'm fucking with him, and I didn't know. And I was like, you what? I said, say what, bitch? He was like, yeah, I've been messing with him for about 2 years now. And I just don't know, like, 2 years. That's a long time. It's been about 5 months for me. And I was like, yeah, I am, but no longer. And she was like, oh, I feel you. Like, I can't believe he would do this to me. Like, I really thought we was messing around. And, So I was like, so I sent him a screenshot of all the messages, and I put under LOL, and I blocked him. And then I blocked him on for everything. I was like, this guy's corny. Like, nah, like, for 5 months you strung me along. Like, that's dumb. Like, why would you do that? Like, so the next time in class, he peeped me. Like, he saw me, and he was like, yo, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Like I already broke it off with her. Like, I really want to see if we could work. Bro, I was like, so he was standing over me talking. Like, I was sitting there, like, doing my notes before class, trying to ignore him. And he was like, yeah, you're gonna front like you don't hear me. And then he tried to pull out the seat next to me. And I was like, somebody's sitting there. And I put my bag there, and I shut the seat. And then I looked away, and I continued. He was like, oh, word. He was like, you know what? Forget you. I was like, okay. So in my head, I was like, okay, nigga, like, I already forgot you. And to this day, he still hit me up. He hits me up every single, like, almost, like, after that, he still hit me up. He still came every single class. He would still talk to me. And I would still ignore him. It was to the point that I got bored of ignoring him. And I was just like, yo, what do you want, guy? Like, he would be like, I'm really sorry. Like, why are you playing like this? I was like, this is what you told me the first time. And I let you slide. You're not about to play with me again. I was like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. No, fool me. Wait, what is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Either way, you can't be fooling me twice. So I was like, I go forward in my life. I don't go backwards. If I break up with someone, I'm not going back with them. I'm only moving forward in my life. So it was a cool experience with you, but it's done now. So let's let that die. And he was like, damn, like, and I was like, when I was a girl, I was his girl. When I thought I was his girl, yo, I was the best, yo. Can't nobody tell me I was the best, because I was a freshman in a relationship. So I was the best. I would buy him when I want. I would cook him for him. Like, I was treating him like a husband. Like, I was treating a boyfriend like a husband. Like, I was cooking. I was cleaning up his room. I would be doing I would buy him stuff. Like, bro, I was the best. I didn't care. Like, if he was with his boys, like, I was so trusting. I was like, oh, yeah. Like, he was like, oh, babe, I'm about to go with my boys. Probably all those times he was like, babe, I'm about to go with my boys. He was probably with this shorty. I ain't even know. I did peep that he was with his boys a lot. I said, what the fuck they doing? Dicking him down? I was like, what they doing over there? Like, why he with his boys so much? Meanwhile, his boy was a girl, and she, it was what it was. I have so many freaking stories, y'all. I wish I could tell you all of the stories right now. Like, cause all of them relate to each other. All of them relate to each other, nigga. Like, the boy that I'm talking about ended up fighting over me. That's another story for another day. Yo, I've been through a lot. College is something, y'all.